In the dark days of 1942, the Pacific was a Japanese lake. Their navy, masters of the night, ran the Tokyo Express down the Solomon Islands, resupplying their garrisons with deadly efficiency. American forces were bleeding outmaneuvered in the darkness. We needed a game-changer, something unconventional, something desperate, and we found it in a boat made of plywood and powered by 3 massive Packard V-12 engines. They called them PT Boats Patrol Torpedo Boats, but to us they were our only hope. I was just a kid then, barely out of my teens when I saw the recruitment poster. It promised action and adventure, but the fine print was grim. They were looking for volunteers for a new kind of warfare, a high-risk, high-reward gamble. The casualty rate was expected to be over 50%. These weren't battleships. There were 77 feet of wood, packed with high-octane gasoline, torpedoes, and machine guns. We were told we'd be hunting sharks in a rowboat. Still, hundreds of us signed up. The training was brutal. We learned to live by the motto, hit M where they AIUNT, and get the hell out. We were taught to use speed and surprise, to become ghosts on the water, naval guerrillas striking from the shadows. Our targets were the steel behemoths of the Imperial Japanese Navy. Our job was to be the mosquito that could fell an elephant. Our squadron arrived in the Solomons, and the reality was harsher than any training exercise. The jungle heat was suffocating, the tension, a constant companion. Our first taste of combat was a bitter one. A mission to intercept the Tokyo Express went horribly wrong. We raced into the darkness, engines roaring, but the Japanese were ready. A flash of light, an explosion, and one of our boats, PT-164, was gone, taking its crew with it. We returned to base that night with one less boat and a heavy silence. The failure was a gut punch. It taught us a hard lesson. Charging head-on was suicide. We had to be smarter. We had to perfect the ambush. Weeks later, we got our chance for redemption. Intelligence reported a massive enemy convoy heading our way, destroyers, transports, packed with thousands of troops. This was it. The night of July 19, 1943, was moonless, perfect for us. 3 of us, PT-2159, PT-160, and my boat, PT-162, slipped out of our base. We weren't charging in this time. We positioned ourselves along the enemy's expected route, cutting our engines, lying in wait like crocodiles in the black water. The silence was deafening, broken only by the lapping of waves against our hull. Hours passed. Then, we saw them, silhouettes against the slightly less dark horizon. Destroyers first, then the fat, lumbering transports. Our hearts pounded in our chests. This was the moment. Our commander gave the signal. Our Packard engines roared to life, shattering the night's stillness. We accelerated from 0 to 40 knots in seconds, skipping across the waves. The Japanese were caught completely by surprise. We split up, drawing their fire, creating chaos. I was on the 50 cal laying down a stream of tracers toward the nearest destroyer to keep their heads down. The other boats lined up their shots, torpedoes in the water. Someone screamed over the radio. We held our breath. Then, a massive fireball erupted from the side of the first transport. A direct hit. A second explosion followed moments later as another torpedo found its mark on a second transport. The night sky lit up like day. We could see men and equipment flying through the air. The escorts were firing wildly, their searchlights sweeping the water, but we were already gone, vanishing back into the darkness that was our shield. We made it back to base as the sun was rising, our fuel tanks nearly empty, our bodies buzzing with adrenaline. We had done it. The transports sunk, thousands of enemy troops and their supplies at the bottom of the channel. The invincible Tokyo Express had been derailed. The news spread like wildfire. The psychological impact was immense. Before that night, the Japanese owned the darkness. After, they started to fear it. They never knew where or when the Mosquito fleet would strike next. Their resupply runs became more cautious, less frequent. They had to divert warships to protect their convoys, resources they desperately needed elsewhere. For the Marines and soldiers fighting on the ground, it meant fewer enemy reinforcements, less ammunition to face. Our little wooden boats were turning the tide. Looking back, it's amazing what we accomplished. We were never meant to win slugfests with destroyers. We were a disruptive force. Our legacy isn't just in the ships we sank, but in the strategy we changed. We proved that in war, size isn't everything. Courage, innovation, and a willingness to fight unconventionally can level the playing field. The spirit of the PT boats lives on today, in the fast attack craft and asymmetric warfare tactics used by modern navies. It's a testament to the idea that a small, determined group can make a very big difference. We were the Davids against a fleet of Goliaths, and in the dark waters of the Pacific, we taught them to fear the night. Thanks for watching. If you found this story of naval history interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of courage and innovation from the pages of history. See you next time.